So the first thing that you can write down definitively that is going to increase your voice to impact ratio is your own boundaries with yourself. And people will feel that even if they don't know that. They might not know that you have boundaries. They might not know what your boundaries are. And guys, they don't need to know. They will feel it. Now, what happens if you say you have boundaries to yourself, but you start breaking your own boundaries in situations where the person that you then end up talking to was not there? So they don't even know, literally, they didn't see you break your own boundary. Would they feel it? Yeah. Yep. So when you say to yourself, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m., and you don't get up at 5 a.m., and the next day you take a sales call with a prospect that has no fucking idea you didn't get up at 5 a.m. when you told yourself you were going to get up at 5 a.m., they feel that your voice to impact ratio has gone down. Does this make sense, guys? Yes. Okay. What else? What is another reason why you gave someone on your list a higher score than you? Christian, did you have one? It's energetic, yeah. People don't need to see what you do or don't do.
Right.
People don't need to hear what you do or don't say. Your energy is communicating the impact of you as a person way before, way after, and way more than your words are communicating, which is why we're training on this, guys. Your voice to impact ratio is nothing to do with your body language, how you fucking sit. I could sit 3 successful business people here that all have a very high voice to impact ratio. One sits like this, like Justin Liu, in a suit. Another person's like this, like hanging off the chair, and the other person sits somewhere in the middle. They all have the same voice to impact ratio. Nothing to do with their body language. Nothing to do with the words that come out their mouth. One person opens their mouth, talks really, really, really fast, but you're listening to everything. Another person says 2 words, and you're like listening to everything. Another person's somewhere in the middle. But they all have the same voice to impact ratio. So what we're doing in this exercise is digging into, if it's not this, because that's not consistent, if it's not this, because that's not consistent, what is the consistent things across all people with a high voice to impact ratio that makes you feel that they have a high voice to impact ratio? One of those things is having your own boundaries and actually following through on those boundaries, regardless if someone actually sees whether you break or don't break your own boundaries to yourself. That's one.
Josh is the type of person who knows his boundaries and does what he says he's going to do, and other people who aren't doing that want to be doing that, they're going to see that in you and be like, I want to be like this guy. They're going to feel it. They're going to see it proverbially, right? Like they're going to feel that, and that is going to that's going to lend to the gravity of your voice, of everything.
Absolutely, guys. To dig a little bit deeper on that, and so that you guys have more material, it's not that I do everything I say I'm going to do, and I don't do everything that I say I'm not going to do. It's that, no, I'm not, definitely not. It's that there's a higher number of the things that I say I'm going to do that I do than any of you guys that had a lower number than me, and the same in reverse. And the reason I clarify that is because the reason has a way higher voice to impact ratio than me is because I don't think there is anything he says he's going to do that he doesn't do, or anything he say he won't do that he then goes and does. Yeah. So it's a scale, guys. The voice to impact ratio is not black or white. Oh, Josh does everything that he says he's going to do, and I don't. No, it's as you look through your weekly schedule and you said, okay, I had 100 decisions over the week. Josh may have done 95 of the ones that he was supposed to do. did 99 or 100, and I'm doing 20 or 30. I don't want any of you to think that it's like I'm like perfect, because that would actually disempower you. And I want you to feel more empowered to realize you need to look at your days, your weeks, your months, your years, and say, how many of the things that I said I was going to do did I do? And how many of the things that I said I wasn't going to do did I not go and do? And you want to push that number higher and higher and higher and higher, and that will increase your voice to impact ratio. No. So that is one of those things.
Do you consider that like the same as conviction?
Well, that's where conviction comes from.
Yeah.
And conviction is a description of the voice to impact ratio. When someone says he has conviction, it's like, describe that. What do you mean? And they wouldn't actually be able to describe it, which is why we're digging into it. When someone says, increase your conviction on a sales call, it's like, do you actually know what that means, guys? You're probably like, I know logically what they're trying to say, but what actually is that? What it is that the impact of what you say and what you do has a much higher impact to the physical words that come out your mouth or the physical body language that you do. There's an energy behind it, and the higher that ratio is, that's what conviction is. Make sense? So yeah, they're the same things. People train all the time, have more conviction on a sales call. Well, it's not very useful training someone on something if they don't actually know what it is. Like, well, what is conviction? I know when I'm in the presence of someone with conviction. I know when I'm in the presence of someone without conviction. I know when I have conviction on my sales calls. I feel it. And I feel it because I also get the response I want from the prospects. But please explain to me what conviction is. Ask any other sales trainer, and they're like, it's just conviction. It's not very useful. So that's why we're going through this exercise, so that you can increase the feeling of conviction that your prospects feel of you, which is your voice to impact ratio.
How many deals have you already lost this week that you could have closed but didn't because you were out of state? I'm not a fan of sales hacks, but if there was one thing you could do before your next sales call to raise your closing percentage, it's using my patented pre-call checklist. Imagine taking just 60 seconds to read 5 to 7 personalized bullet points on a piece of paper, and as unbelievable as it may sound, puts you into the optimal state to access your highest sales skills on every call. That's the pre-call checklist. I'm going to show you how to create your own. All you need is a piece of paper and to go through the training that I'm going to give you. Thousands of salespeople have used this framework to close more deals, and you can have your own for free. No strings attached in a matter of minutes. Click the link below this video, enter your email, and grab it right now.